This is Raphael from Playmates 6-inch Classic Ninja Turtle Retro line. This line came out in 2012. These figures are all based off the 1988 version of the Ninja Turtles cartoon. All the figures come with a base plate with the name of the figure on them and a couple of foot studs that fit in the bottom of the feet here. Now, that'll allow you to do some more elaborate poses if you want, but these figures do stand up on their own fairly well without the base plates if you don't want to use them. Now, all the figures in this line have 34 points of articulation. We'll go over those in a second. But to start with Raph, comes with both his sides, which fit nicely into his belt there. Now, the belt is not removable from the back of his shell. You can unclip it here in the front if you wanted to for whatever reason. It just pops off right there behind the letter R and snaps back in place. Now, as far as the figure itself, I've done a real good job with the paint job on this. Leonardo and Raphael both, I think, have the best looking faces to them. Michelangelo and Donatello sometimes can tend to look a little googly-eyed. But to date, I haven't seen any Raphaels that have ended up with off-kilter pupils in their eyeballs. Now we'll take his size out. We'll just show you the articulation here. First and foremost, you have the head, which just turns. You can go up and down just a little bit. We've got the shoulders here, which are a ball joint, plus a hinge. Now the shoulders on all of the 6-inch retro turtles I've had have all come very stiff out of the box. It's taken a good bit of work trying to hold it right here by the bicep and turning them back and forth before I could get them to move freely. Once I got them to move freely, I didn't have any problems moving them after that. There's a hinge above and below the elbow. The wrist itself turns, and the fingers and the thumb can all move individually of each other. Here on the leg, you've got a ball joint here at the hip, hinge joints above and below the knee, a hinge joint on the ankle, and then the toes move independently of each other as well. And in the very center, you can turn just below the chest. You can lean forward, lean back. That range of motion is fairly limited. Let's see there. It's about your full range of motion. But you can turn quite a ways. And then here at the legs as well. Kind of hard to grip it and move it here on camera, but there is a joint right here in the middle of the quad to be able to rotate the legs some. Now, with this many points of articulation, these figures are more suited probably towards display and a collector than necessarily playtime, but they look so good that nobody's going to blame you if you can't help but sit down and play with them or let the kids have a go, whatever you feel the urge to do. And get his size back in here. Alright, so that is Raphael from the Playmates 6-inch Retro Classic Turtles collection. One more thing I did want to display with these turtle figures. Unfortunately, I don't have Mikey here to show him as well. But they do all have slightly different colored skin. Not sure how well that translates on video. But if you remember the original line of toys from the 80s, the figures had varying degrees of green on them. You can see here that that also holds true. It's subtle, but it is there. So, just one more of the little extra bits that Playmates has put into the details of these characters. Hey Donnie!